Hi, have you ever thought of a chicken? Like the mother hen, the chicken. There's something the chicken does that I want to share with us today because I thought it's something that's a bit unique and that we can learn from. I grew up in the village and I saw how the chicken in my grandmother's house were behaving, especially when it comes to that period of hatching the eggs. When you put the eggs, the mother hen is ready to like sit on the eggs and hatch the eggs, incubate the eggs until they hatch into some chicks. And I would see that chicken would come out from the crowd of the other chicken and just be somewhere by itself and focus on hatching and incubating the eggs, because that time has come. And that chicken would not mind being by itself, because most of the time it is sitting on those eggs. And when it is sitting on those eggs, it can't keep moving up and about, in and out, because the eggs will lose the required warmth or the required temperature that's needed for them to hatch. And so the mother hen knows all this, and she intentionally denies herself so much. She intentionally sacrifices herself so much. I imagine she misses the company of the other chicken, because they live together, they stay together. I know there's a way they talk, because even when they're eating when they're moving up and down and eating and taking water, and the way they make those sound, there's a way they speak, because they are a community, they are a family, they are friends. I know there's a way they just feel good around each other. There's a way they enjoy each other's company. But at this time, it's so crucial for the mother hen to forgo all that socialization, all that happy moment with the others, to forgo all that good time of being with others, making stories, going up and down for coffee dates with them. I don't know if the chicken have coffee dates, but however they do it, as we call it coffee date, them they could be calling it something else. But this chicken, this mother hen, literally and intentionally denies itself so much of this, so that it can sit on its eggs and very, very patiently incubate them, very patiently give them the warmth and the heat and the temperature that's required for them to hatch. And in case the chicken is not patient and is that jumpy kind, the eggs end up spoiling sorry, instead of hatching. And if this chicken or this mother hen is very patient and does the work of sitting on the eggs and incubating the eggs very well, then after 21 days, there will be a celebration of so many chicks coming out of the eggs. And the mother hen will be happy, having chicks under her wings, and she'll be there spreading the wings and now protecting the chicks and even gathering together as its babies. And there is happiness in that home, because now everybody goes, oh my God, we are happy, we've got more chicken. So we have more chicken, either to sell, either to slaughter and eat and celebrate with our families. For one reason or another, there's celebration, there's an addition. But then I thought of that concept of how a chicken or a mother hen patiently sits on its eggs. And I'm like, how about you and me as human beings? How about us? When you have this vision, when you have this idea, when you have this dream, when you have this thing that is so much in us, that we really want to do, but we are so busy up and down, jumpy. We don't want to pull out from the crowd. We don't want to pull out from our groups and of friends. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to separate, so that we can have that time to patiently sit on our vision, sit on our ideas, sit on our dreams, and let them hatch. Let them hatch into the business that we are dreaming of in our minds. Let them hatch into a beautiful home you're thinking of building. Let them hatch into going to the next level that you want to go to. Because at times, things will not just happen. You will need to sacrifice. You will need to sacrifice that company, because I trust you me, there are people who are where they are. There are people who are still limited. There are people who have not yet gotten to the level they're supposed to be, because you are still clinging and holding on to that company so much, to that friendship so much. You don't want to let go, to just go somewhere in seclusion, somewhere alone, somewhere you can even just be alone, focus, concentrate on you, think about you, rejuvenate, go back to the drawing board, vision, what exactly do I want, what is that is in me that I want birthed out. Have that moment of just internalizing about you, just thinking about how do I position things in my life, how do I put things in order in my life, how do I move forward. That time of just pulling out is very important. Like the way we have seen the mother hen comes out of the crowd to have time to sit on its eggs until they hatch. Sometimes your eggs are not hatching because you're too jumpy, because you're too impatient, because you're too afraid of pulling yourself out of that clique. You are wondering, if I pull out, what will they say? If I pull out, will I lose my friends? If I pull out, I'll be the talk of the group. If I pull out, and you're there, and day by day you keep feeling stressed up and feeling bad about yourself because you're not bold enough to pull out and be just somewhere alone and think what it is exactly that I want. Let me tell you, there are things you will not achieve in your life for as long as you are in that group, for as long as you're in that setup of friendship. There are things you will not break through. You'll not break even. You'll not break this glass ceiling and just break through and, go through to the next side for as long as you're centered and entangled in that friendship, in that crowd. And your friends are not bad, because I also have friends. But there are times you need to pull out to move to the next level. Also think of a woman who is just about to give birth. When it comes to that time, this woman now is in labor pain and wants to give birth. Even if the president comes and sits next to her, she will say, leave me alone. I want to be alone. I want to focus on the labor pain. I want to focus on birthing this baby. And that woman is better off alone in that delivery ward, screaming, feeling the labor pains, and pushing out the baby. And when this is done, Now they come back to the crowd, celebrating, holding their bundle of joy, holding their baby. When the chicken, the mother hen, has already hatched the eggs, it comes back to its setup, to its friends, to its family, with more chicks, and there's celebration. So there's always a period in your life you will need to pull out, go birth that greatness that is in you, go birth that business that it is in you, go birth that idea that is in you. Just go and implement that which has been in your mind. And after implementing it and it's now moving on, now you'll come back to the setup of your friends and your group and your crowd. You have to get courageous to be alone at times. Let me tell you one incident where I had to be alone, but today I celebrate that I gained the courage to be alone. It is that time when I had dropped out of school, out of high school, for 7 years. I dropped from high school when I was in Form 3. And then I stayed home for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. 7 years at home. And all this time I'm crying to God, please God, open a door for me to get the finances and the school fees for me to go back to high school. And nothing is happening. But at some point, it's a long story. One day I will just come and do a video on that, how I dropped out of school for 7 years. And then I went back to Form 2. When God opened a door for me to go back to high school, I went back to high school when I was at age 26 years. And that time I had my baby breastfeeding. And that time I was in a toxic marriage. A toxic marriage. I'll come and talk about that story alone in length and in depth. But at that time, when God opened a door for me, it was a time when I needed to pull out of the crowd, be alone, and think, yes, I am 26 years old, but I have to go back to high school. Yes, I have a breastfeeding baby, but I have to go back to high school. Yes, I have a husband whom we are in a toxic marriage together, but I have to go back to high school. Yes, my friends will talk about me. I am a grown-up woman. I'm a 26-year-old. I am going back to school, wearing uniforms like small kids who are going to high school. My age, those who are of my age, 26 years, are working class. They are working. Me, I'm thinking of going back to high school. They will laugh at me. They will talk about me. They will gossip me. They will see me like I'm funny. They'll see like I've lost it. But at that time is when I applied this idea of how a mother hen pulls out from the rest to just sit on its eggs until they hatch. And at that time, I remember I cut a lot of relationship and groups and all that, so that I can withdraw and be somewhere that I feel safe to implement what is in me. And at that time was the desire to go back to high school, because in me I was feeling for sure I need to go back to high school, regardless of my age, regardless of my motherhood, regardless of my marital status. I want to go back to high school at all costs. But if I continued being in the circles of the people around me and the crowd around me, I would still keep hearing voices telling me, Gladys, you're crazy. Gladys, you're old enough not to go back to high school. So you focus on the small grocery business that you're doing. You know, you Gladys, are you mad? You have a husband and a wife. A husband and a baby, you know. And it was a time I needed to make that tough decision. I needed to free myself from that life of misery and poverty that was coming to me because I do not have education. I'm a mother. breastfeeding mother. I'm in a toxic marriage, and I thank God that marriage ended. We finally divorced. I'll come and talk about all that. But it's a marriage that ended, and I told God thank you, because it was a way of saving my life. Today I would not be here doing this video if I continued in that marriage. So it was a tough time for me to pull out from the crowd, to stand up for me, to say, I don't know, I don't care what people will say. I don't care whether people will gossip. I don't care whether I'll become the topic. I don't care. I just want to sit on my eggs and let them hatch. And I remember at that time, I made a lot of sacrifices. And one of the sacrifices was I went to the barber shop, and I asked the barber shop to cut all my hair short. All my hair, cut it and let it remain short. Because I knew in my small grocery shop, my customers are the kids that we shall be interacting with in that high school, because it was a neighborhood high school that was a day school. And because these kids, these now who are becoming my schoolmates and my classmates, were my neighbors, were my customers in that grocery business. So I wanted to a little bit change my identity, conceal my identity, so that I don't get a lot of backlash of people identifying me. This is the lady who has been cutting the vegetables for us. This is the lady who has been going to the market for us. This, I wanted to confuse them a bit. I managed a little bit, but many would still identify me. And it used to be a very bad time, because during break time, that's when now these small classmates and schoolmates would come during break time and say, come, I show you that lady who goes to the market, that lady who cuts vegetables for us, that grocery lady, that who runs a kibanda business, that lady who sells sukuma wiki, that lady who sells groceries to us is in school, is in Form 2. She's here, and she has a baby, and she's even married. And they would make stories, and then I would just see they're pointing, that one. And I know they're pointing me because they are telling my story. And it used to be a very tough time when I used to feel so low and so down. But I knew it is my time to sit on my eggs. So I put deaf ears on everything that was said. Another very challenging time is where we lived. Where we lived was in a plot. People who know our setup here know those houses you rent, and it is in a plot setup, and there are so many units together. You use common toilet, common bathroom, common tap to wash the utensils and all that. So anytime I would go out of the house, the neighbors would really laugh at me. The neighbors would really laugh at me. And they'd be, look at this one. She's gone to school. She has a husband. She has a baby. She must be crazy. And they're really laughing at me. I lost them as friends because now they started ridiculing me. They started gossiping about me. They started talking too much about me. To a point, I would wash my school uniform and not hang them outside, because I don't want them to pass and see the uniforms hanged outside on the clothesline and start laughing at me. So I would hang my uniform inside the house. Sometimes it's a cold season, so they will not dry by the time the weekend is over. So I would dry them with an iron box. I would iron even my pullover. Until now, when you iron the pullover, it keeps loosening and becoming baggy. It would loosen and become baggy. I would take it to the tailor to slim it. The next time I iron it, then it is bigger. Then I'll take it to be slimmed. It used to be a very challenging time. I remember there's a time I would wake up in the morning, and because I don't want them to laugh at me, the more people laugh at you, it's not fun. It's not like taking a glass of water. It's not like a walk in the park. When people are laughing at you, they psychologically make you feel disturbed, make you feel stressed up. So I would wake up in the morning, and then I would put on this big jacket. So, and then inside I'm wearing a civilian small dress. So I would roll up my school skirt uniform. I would roll it up and tuck it in under that jacket, so that down here on top I have a civilian jacket, and bottom you'll only see that civilian dress, small dress that I used to wear inside. So when I reach near the school, I would now roll out the school skirt, roll it down, and remove the civilian jacket and put it in my bag, and I'll be in proper uniform and immediately enter the school gate like shwee, before many people would notice me. Shwa, enter the school gate. Then in the evening I would do the same. It used to be a tough time. It used to be really tough, because sometimes it would be a hot season, very hot season, such that the small dress I'm wearing inside is making me feel so hot. Even when I remove my pullover, my school sweater, it is so hot, I'm feeling so hot, but there's no way I can remove that dress. But I had to bear with that. I had to bear with that. Why? That was the time of me sitting on my eggs of academic progression. And I needed to sit on those eggs properly until they hatch, until I am able to make it through academically. And I thank God. For real, God stood by me. I made it through. I was able to complete my high school. I was able to do my O-levels, achieve a good grade. I actually got grade B. And I was called to join the University of Nairobi. And I went to the University of Nairobi. I graduated. I came now back with my certificates. I started working. And today, I'm back to the university doing my master's in counseling psychology. From a 7 years old, from a 7 years school dropout to today, very soon, I'll be graduating with my master's in counseling psychology. Why? Because I decided to be like the mother hen, pull out to sit on my eggs and let them hatch. Today, even those who laughed at me, they are celebrating me. Today, they don't have anything to gossip about me that's negative. If they have to talk about me, they say, that lady that went back to school and went to university, now she's even driving. Now she's like this and that. Now they're telling of good things about me. But you have to come out of that crowd. You have to come out of that cocoon. You have to free yourself to achieve that has been your dream, to achieve that what your heart has been desiring. You have to pull out. You are fearing to look the bad one. You have to be the bad one for some time. You are fearing to look funny and weird to them. You have to look funny and weird for some time. You are fearing what they will say. You have to let them say whatever they need to say for you to achieve what you need to achieve. Pull out. The mother hen cannot sit on its eggs when it is all over with others and going picking things and jumping in and out like they used to do before. No, this is a special moment when the mother hen has to pull out of the other chicken, go and silently, patiently sit on its eggs. It only comes once in a while to go eat and come back and sit on its eggs, you know, until the eggs hatch and the chicks are out. Some of you are limited by friends. That idea you want to implement, that business you want to do, that move you want to make, you are not making it. You're not getting the courage to move do it, because what will my friends say? What will they think about me? Sometimes if people want to even sometimes what is it called, downsize your way of living so that you can strategize and bounce back bigger. But then you're like, if I move from the house where I live and go to a smaller house to re-strategize because things are not working out and business is not good and work is not, I don't have a job, what will people say? If I pull my children from the expensive school they are going to, what will people say? If I don't drive the big car people are used to me driving, even if right now I'm really straining even to fuel it, what will people say? If I start this business and my friends think that I'm in a position to start even a very big one, but I feel I can't open the big one, I can only start with a small one, what will they say? You know, what will my family say? What will my relatives say? What will this one say? What will my boyfriend say? What will my girlfriend say? What will my husband say? What will my wife say? What will, you know, what if? Please understand your season for hatching your eggs. And if your season for hatching the eggs has come, please pull out from the crowd. Go somewhere in seclusion. Talk to God. Listen to God. Tell God what it is that you want. And even sometimes you just go to seclusion to rejuvenate and to re-energize. Because some of you are still in the circles of friends, but moving around like a ball. But again, you're so drained, you're so empty, you are so empty, but you're still holding on to the crowd. Sometimes you just need to pull out so that you can go somewhere quiet and listen to yourself. What is it I want for me? Re-energize, rejuvenate, re-strategize. Sometimes you need that. So let's embrace the concept of the mother hen and make 2024 bigger and better for us, and implement that which has been your heart desire. To implement your heart desire, you have to get to a point you don't care about people. Like me, I never cared about people. Going back to high school at 26 years old, as a breastfeeding mother, as a wife in a toxic marriage that ended, it had to take me a lot of courage. It had to take me crazy courage to take the risk. So you need that crazy courage to pull out to achieve your dreams. I love you so much. And this channel is called Touching Lives Through Love. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. I'll be happy to read your comments. I'll be so happy when you give this video a thumbs up, because when you give it a thumbs up, you are telling YouTube this is good content, and YouTube will be able to recommend it to many more others to watch. I know you love us so much here at Touching Lives Through Love, and I know you're gonna touch our lives through love by clicking the subscription button and even the notification bell, so that anytime there's a new video, you are among the first people to know it and watch it when it is still hot. I love you, and may God help you to hatch your eggs. Love you. Mwah.